Hi, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Megan.
Welcome to the Grimdark Diaries.
We're your geek gal pals obsessed with true crime and all things dark and disturbing.
Happy holidays.
The holidays are over now.
Are they over?
Apparently.
No, we're in the midst of it now.
I mean, we are, but not when people hear this episode.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, we're only 2 days before New Year's Eve right now at recording time. Very exciting times in lockdown.
What's more important is the Book of Boba Fett comes out today.
That's
the holiday I'm celebrating.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Have you seen it yet?
I have not, because I worked all day and then I was actually editing the episode that's supposed to drop tomorrow right up until I made supper, and then I made supper, and then here we are.
Oof.
So I actually probably won't get a chance to watch it until Friday, which is killing me slightly inside.
That is really sad. I will watch all the episodes tonight and give you a highlight reel. How about that?
Thanks.
I'm just kidding. I would never do that to you. If there's something you do not do in the geek world, it is give spoilers to your friends.
No, and somehow I've also avoided spoilers for the new Spider-Man movie.
Same.
Which I'm even surprised about.
Same. I don't know if it's just because I hate online social media right now and I never go on there, so I haven't seen any spoilers for that movie. I haven't seen any spoilers for The Matrix either, which I'm very surprised about.
No, I'm actually, so tomorrow I'm going to see The Matrix.
Are you?
On my husband's birthday.
Ooh,
yes.
That's exciting.
And I was confused and concerned because I bought tickets for us to go see it because he loves The Matrix and his birthday's tomorrow and that's what he wanted to do.
Right.
So I bought tickets for him and I, like when they released them at like the 1st of December. But then it's wild in here in Halifax.
A little bit wild, yeah.
We're kind of in a lockdown. And then it put all these new restrictions in place. Mm-hmm. And then they took down the showing and I couldn't view my tickets anymore. So we were very confused if we were still going or what was happening, or even if we should go, because we just didn't know.
Yeah.
But I also didn't get a refund.
Oh.
And then Cineplex was only posting showings for like one day, like 24 hours in advance. So you could buy tickets for today or tomorrow. So then I checked today. And I went to the viewing that we're going to, just like went through the process of buying tickets, and I could see that they're selling it, but they do social distancing seats.
Okay.
So if somebody buys seats, then there's like 3 seats next to them that then get blocked out. Mm-hmm. And I could see that our seats are showing as blocked out. And then there's only 2 other people in the whole theater.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, one, the theaters are at 50% capacity now. And 2, people probably don't feel comfortable going out now. And I don't blame them at all.
I wouldn't buy tickets now.
No.
But we already bought them. And now that I checked, and it's literally us and 2 other people in the whole theater, I'm okay.
That's a pretty sweet showing, though. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Raptor, though.
Right? I have a grievance now.
Okay, what's your grievance?
Okay, so this is my grievance, is that I know that originally they changed the rules so that you couldn't eat in the theater.
Oh, yes.
Because they wanted you to keep your mask on.
That's right, yeah.
Which I'm fine with. That makes total sense to me, and I get that.
Yeah.
And they said there'd be designated eating areas. So movie popcorn is one of my favorite things.
Oh, yeah.
So my plan was to watch the movie, and then as I'm leaving, buy my popcorn to then bring home and eat.
Ooh, okay.
No, they just announced that they're not selling concessions at all.
Oh, really?
As of today.
No. Oh, no.
So that's my grievance, is that I just want to buy my popcorn to go eat in my car, and I can't.
Oh, that's awful. You can't buy like takeout. They don't offer takeout popcorn or
No,
anything
they're
like
not
that?
selling concessions at all.
Oh, that's
to discourage people taking their masks off.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway, that's not a
fair.
Real thing.
It's
and I
fair
realize
that
it's
they're
a very
doing
first
that,
world problem,
Nikki.
But I've been since I bought these tickets at the 1st of December. I've been looking forward to movie popcorn.
Oh no, that's so sad.
Right?
I mean, the reason they're doing it is obviously great. So,
oh yeah, I fully support it.
But it sucks that you don't get to have your movie popcorn. I'm very sad
I know.
for you. You'll have to have like regular popcorn ready for when you get home.
I did buy microwave popcorn.
Okay.
Organic, nice microwave popcorn. And I actually ate some today for lunch because I was getting excited thinking about the popcorn I was going to eat tomorrow. So I made some popcorn, and then I saw that I'm not going to get movie popcorn. Now I'm a little sad.
Okay, well, but you have popcorn and you'll make do. This is what we call first world problems.
Yeah, it's a petty grievance, but
that's right.
This is where I am in my life.
That's totally fair. I understand. The lockdown is pretty shitty, not going to lie.
Yeah. Did you do any Boxing Day shopping, browsing?
I didn't at all, actually. I have a family member staying with me while they are on break from school, and they and I have eaten about $400 worth of groceries since a week and a half ago. So between the two of us, I'm not used to supporting another person, especially a 19-year-old child that is, I mean, adult, but, you know, still child, but has a hefty appetite. And I also have a hefty appetite. So we've been eating a lot of food and just enjoying our time together. So I have absolutely no money left over to buy Boxing Day deals. But I've seen a lot of great deals.
Spend your money.
Yeah. No, I think it's fine. I'm not a big deal shopper anyway. I don't really conform to those societal discounted days of shopping, even though that's exactly what I should be doing instead of spending my money when it's full price.
That's what I do. I wait all year until the big sales. So
How many times we've had this conversation so many times about your Black Friday deals sales that you love to go like ham on when you're buying Christmas presents for people. Yeah, and I always say, I'm like, that's a great idea. I should do that next year. And then I never, ever do. It's been a few years, but yeah, I think the biggest issue for me, unless it's an online sale somewhere and I can just shop online, I won't go out to the stores because I am not a huge fan.
I did all of my shopping online.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I can understand that for sure. But I am not a people person. I do not enjoy big crowds. And especially during this time of the pandemic when Omicron is wreaking its havoc all over the place, I feel like big crowds are a big no-no right now. We actually
I don't want to be around people.
We ended up going to the mall yesterday because the person staying with me had an issue with their iPad. So we had to go into the Apple store yesterday. So that was fun. Big crowds. I was surprised how busy the mall was. I was shocked how busy the mall was. There was so many people.
And no, don't be shocked. It's Boxing Day sales. People
there
just
were
care
so
about
many Boxing Day
bargains.
Sales. Yeah, I did see a ton of Boxing Day sales for sure. But I was like, I need to get the hell out of here. I do not feel comfortable being around this many people right now. Okay, well, we're going to dive into our story. If you remember last week, I rolled for something different, a little different this time. Cryptids are cooler than people. If you recall, I really enjoyed looking up stories about cryptids. There's so many different cryptids out there in the world. I didn't even realize. Honestly, I'll be honest. I've heard the word cryptid be used so many places in so many areas of my life, and I didn't really actually even know what a cryptid was. I just assumed a cryptid was like basically creatures that are fictional, but horror related creatures that are numbered. So like,
I have no idea what you're speaking of.
SCP. I'm pretty sure it is SCP. Here we go. Oh, yes. Secure, Contain, Protect is what it stands for. It's a fictional secret organization documented by the collaborative writing wiki project of the same name. So basically, they capture various paranormal, supernatural, this is from Wikipedia, of course, other mysterious phenomena unexplained by mainstream science. Anomalies.
So that sounds like a team of like SCPs. Containment people,
right?
Not the animals themselves.
Well, they have numbers. So each of the animals or creatures have numbers. So if you look up SCP, let's just pick a number out of
13.
Okay. SCP-13. So if you look, it's scp-wiki.wiki.com. Apparently. There's like an entire wiki of these SCP characters. So this object class is safe. They're kept safe in a secure storage vault at
what is it?
Site 66. Description. SCP-13 is the collective designation of 242 cigarettes, which display similar anomalies. The most common external detail between instances is the presence of the words Blue Lady handwritten on each cigarette in blue ink.
Are you going insane right now?
No,
what's happening?
I swear.
I
swear. Immediately after consuming an instance of SCP-13, subjects will gradually begin to perceive reflections of themselves as having the features of the woman and will gradually perceive their bodies changing to reflect her appearance over the course of the following weeks. All changes are entirely mental. The subject's body does not change outwardly, only their perception of themselves. These alterations are permanent and cannot be reversed. How
This just shows
up is that?
Don't smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
Don't smoke these magical cigarettes.
Okay. Do not smoke SCP-013. There is an entire... So, and it's not just objects, it's creatures as well. So when I thought of cryptids, that is what I thought of.
No, cryptids are legit. Do you know that people actually have the profession of cryptid zoologist?
I didn't know that until I started researching this story. There's so much I need to learn about this because this is crazy. Like the Loch Ness Monster is a cryptid. The Yeti is a cryptid.
You know I know the Loch Ness Monster because it's from my favorite neck of the woods.
I was literally going to do that story and then I was like, you know what? No, this is a Nikki area. Nikki needs to be the one to do this. Any story from Scotland needs to be done by Nikki.
Yeah, Scotland, Ireland, it's my jam.
Yeah, I hope you get... We're going to keep cryptids are cooler than people on the list too, because I think that one needs to happen every time. Not every time, but it needs to be on there for more frequent stories about cryptids. Because there's more than just one, right? Like I picked one cryptid to do a story about, but there are so many cryptids out there that you can do stories about.
Well, Megan, which cryptid did you pick?
We are going to dive in to the story of the Jersey Devil today.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure this has been done and overdone, but I am very excited to talk about it because I'll be honest, I've heard of it, but I didn't know about it. Now I know about this story and it is wild, wild, wild. So I'm going to start a little more recent. In October 2015, there was a man who lived in Little Egg Harbor, New Jersey. His name was David Black. He swore up and down that he took a photo of the infamous Jersey Devil one Monday evening when he was heading home from work on Route 9 near a golf course. I am going to include this photo, and I would love for everyone to let us know what they think about this photo, because this photo, I don't know.
Is it grainy or is it clear?
It's either dusk or very like after the sun sets a little bit. So it's like barely light and all you see is a shadow. So
my husband is a Photoshop expert.
Ooh.
He can look at people's pictures and he can tell you in like a matter of like 30 seconds if somebody Photoshopped it.
Okay.
Which like to any of our friends that have Photoshopped pictures, spoilers. He knows. And he points them out to me and he's like, see this person? They made their muscles bigger. See this person? They made themselves thinner.
Why aren't you sharing these stories with me?
I know, right? It's pretty juicy.
I want to know.
Even people that have had like professional pictures done, he's like, you see that? You see how that floor bends? That's not supposed to bend.
Oh my gosh. That's cool. I love that.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to share those with me going forward.
Yeah, he doesn't gossip, so it's like the one like tiny strand of kind of gossip he can give me.
I love it. That's amazing. Well, I don't know how to Photoshop, so that'll never happen for my photos, so I'm sure all of mine are safe for you to tell me about. So David, around 6 p.m., he was driving down Route 9 and he thought he had actually seen a llama running outside on the ground, just on the other side of the fence in the golf course. As he got closer, he pulled out his camera and he took a picture. The picture was taken just as this thing apparently expanded its wings and took off from the golf course. Flew away.
Flying llama?
It was he thought it was a llama, but I'll get to the description.
That's a very specific animal shape.
It is. Yes. Have you ever heard of the story of the Jersey Devil? It has a very interesting description.
I've heard some things on the Jersey Devil. I watched a show once and it was doing, I think it was that William Shatner Unexplained one that we've talked about in a previous episode.
Yeah, yeah.
And they did an episode and it was multiple different cryptids in one. So every cryptid only got like 5 minutes.
Right.
But I didn't hear like this specific testimonial. It was like some lady she claimed she found the body of a Jersey Devil on her farm or something.
Oh, interesting.
And then, yes, and it was gross. I saw pictures.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It was pretty nasty.
Okay,
looking.
well, that did not come up in this story. So I don't know if that's just hoopla, if it was discovered as not being true or what. But that did not come up in my research at all. Well, that's interesting. So I'll read the description and then you can let me know if it looked like that. So David knew, obviously, once he started telling his story, that people would laugh at him. He really just wanted to get the word out there because if the legends were true, the Jersey Devil could snatch children out of their cribs, steal souls, and also slitting the throats of babies in their cribs.
Man, it's really got a baby thing going.
Apparently. New Jersey is actually
the nude.
I know. I didn't mean to say that.
It does it in the nude. Oh.
Yes. Well, I mean, can you really put clothes on a Jersey Devil? Maybe.
I mean, we could start knitting them sweaters. Maybe they would like that.
True. If they're in the shape
maybe that's
of a
why
llama.
they're so angry is because they're a little chilly.
They're naked.
And they'd rather be Winnie the Pooh in it.
Right.
With a shirt on top. Nothing on the bottom.
No pants.
Nobody likes pants. They're not comfortable.
It's so true. Everybody just take off your pants. Wait, depending on where you are.
Oh, God.
If you're in the public area, do not take off your pants.
No, the secret is you just don't wear pants to begin with.
Well, it depends where you are.
No, you wear a skirt. Everyone wears skirt.
Ooh, skirts are good. Yeah. Or
a
a
kilt
dress.
if you're a male.
Dresses are good. Mm-hmm. I don't wear skirts. I rarely wear dresses, but they are very comfy when I do wear them, I have to say. Although
I live in dresses.
Worried about a little bit of a Marilyn Monroe action that happening here because it's super windy here in Nova Scotia.
It is. And you know what? When I was younger, my skirts were very short. I just really took a lot of words out of that sentence.
Let's just not use these words today.
No. When you're young, you shop at cheap stores and the dresses are all tight and short, and even if they were an A-line skirt, they were way too short. They were like mid-thigh, and we live in literally the windiest province ever.
It's true.
So when I leave the house, I would have to make sure that I only have stuff with me that would require occupying one hand because you need one free hand to hold your skirt at all times. But now that I'm old, I don't like short skirts, so they have to be like mid-calf or longer.
Yeah, exactly. Like a maxi dress right to the floor. Yeah, it's true. Anything that is longer than your, like, about to your shins or longer than your knees is usually good enough, as long as it's tight enough at the bottom that it doesn't come flying up, because man, I still
wear A-line because I got that vintage look about me.
A-line is, I am told, good for apple shapes, which is what I am. So an apple shape A-line dress is pretty good. So I tend to wear those if I am wearing dresses at all. But those are the ones that fly up really high. And when you do a twirl, they kind of, they just go flat.
Just wear some cute undies.
Yeah, that's true. You could do that for sure. So New Jersey, is what I meant to say, is the only state to have an official state demon.
What?
Did you know that?
It's official?
It's official. It's an official state demon. It is called the Jersey Devil, obviously. It was made official in 1939.
Wow.
I know. Isn't that cool?
I thought that would have been a recent change to be trendy and try and get in with the youths.
Yeah. I think it was still done to be trendy, but just earlier than we suspected. It was described as being an amalgamation of many different animal parts, like the body of a kangaroo, a goat's head. Earlier days, it was described with a goat's head, but later days, it's described as a head of a horse with the face of a dog. So it does change a little bit.
What? How do you have the head of a horse and the face of a dog?
Well, think of
because the horse head is.
Think of
you
the
can't
snout.
have those two things.
Think of the snout. Think of the outer shape of a horse's head, like the snout going way out, and then up, and have in the ears. It's kind of like a dog's head, but it's bigger, like wider,
No,
I
it's
guess.
not.
It's like wide. It's got a wider snout.
So then what? It's a horse's head with a dog's nose?
I don't know. Listen, I see drawings, and that's it. I'm just telling you what it's described as from people who had real life encounters, okay? Apparently, it also had horns. And picture T-Rex small arms with clawed hands. Bat-like wings. It had wings that were bat-like, but giant. 2 legs with hooves like horses. And a forked tail. It is known for its blood-curdling scream, being able to contort itself into fitting into a hole less than a foot in diameter, and being so nimble it can walk on fences and coops like a cat.
How big is this thing?
It is
Like,
described...
give me an animal to compare overall size to.
From all of the accounts that have been seen over the years, it can be anywhere from 3 feet to 10 feet. So it
10
depends
feet.
on who you are and when you saw it and where you saw it. Maybe it was 3 feet when it was a baby and 10 feet when it was grown.
I feel like if they were 10 feet, we'd see them more.
You would think.
I feel like I'd believe the 3 feet. I think the 10 feet is an exaggeration.
It's very possible. And it could be just because, could be angles, could be distance, could be so many things.
Find me the angle where I look 10 feet.
Yeah.
I'll cosplay as Lady Dimitrescu.
Ooh, are you going to do that someday? Because I feel
no,
like
I'm way too short.
You're
I would
not-
like to be one of the daughters.
Ooh, that would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to cosplay her. I think she'd be fantastic to cosplay.
There you go. You be her. We'll get you some stilts or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I could just wear giant platform shoes.
To get to 9 feet?
Yeah,
Those
that would
some
be
hefty
fine.
shoes.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm 5'7", so it would only be a few feet.
Are you really? I thought you were taller.
Okay, listen, my sister would argue, and I know she's listened to my podcast, and she's gonna argue with me about this. I'm like 5'6 3/4" because she is 5'7".
I don't believe you because I'm 5'4".
Taller than me. Well, the last time I measured myself, I was 5'6 3/4". But I am a lot taller than you, actually. So
you are, and see, the only reason I know I'm 5'4" is because I got life insurance and they have to medically measure you.
Really?
So a medical professional measured me, and I thought I was 5'3.5", and he was like, "No, you're 5'4". And I was like, "Are you sure it's just not my hair?" And he was like,
my hair.
This is my job."
The doctor does not know better than you.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to measure myself again. That was
I think you're taller.
That was
You're
like a
definitely
self-measurement, right?
More than 3 inches taller than me.
Interesting. I never thought about it, I guess. But my sister would yell at me if she knew that I was saying 5'7". I say 5'7" because it's rounding up. You're like, I'm 5'6 3/4". So the last time I measured myself. So it just made sense. But I was probably in my 20s the last time I measured myself. So I have no idea.
Maybe you grew.
You think I would grow? Maybe. Maybe I grew. Usually you grow the other direction the older you get. Back to the Jersey Devil. We have stories that go back more than 260 years in New Jersey's Pineland forests. The first account, it was seen in 1735. Here is the story. This is the origin story that they say is the true story, but we'll see if this is true or not. 1735. South Jersey matriarch and witch Mary, or Jane, or Deborah. These are all the names that came up from the stories that I know. Maybe it was Deborah Jane Mary. That was her name. We'll go with that.
Just the plainest names they could
right.
get.
I know. There's so many different names. I'm like, I don't know which one to choose, so I'm just going to say them all. Mary or Jane or Deborah. Deborah actually can be found in genealogical records, and she actually did bore 12 children between 1704 and 1726 with her husband Japheth, whose father Daniel Leeds had arrived in America from England in 1677, where he decided to settle in Burlington, New Jersey. So Mary, Jane, or Deborah, last name Leeds. So for the sake of the story, we're going to call her Mother Leeds.
Mother Leeds.
Mother Leeds. She found out she was pregnant with her 13th child.
Oh, my lucky number.
Not lucky for her. She cursed the words out loud, quote, "Let this one be the devil," end quote.
Why? Why would you do that to your own baby that's going to come out of your loins?
I mean, have you ever had 12 children?
No. I have not, Megan.
I mean, I feel like maybe.
I haven't been hiding secretly 12 children from you.
Like, I guess I asked that really realistically from you. Are you sure you have never had 12 kids? She wasn't a fan of having 12 children. And then the 13th was just the straw that broke the camel's back, I guess. So she cursed this child. And when the child was born at their home in Pine Barrens, it grew wings, horns, and hooves, as well as a tail. And then it flew up the chimney out into the night.
Oh, is that why it attacks babies?
Maybe. There were other accounts where the creature kills the midwife before flying up the chimney.
Oh.
Yeah.
To prevent the babies from coming.
True.
It just doesn't like babies.
Very true. And then lo and behold, Deborah Mary Jane does not have a 13th child anymore. So then she only has the 12. At first, this thing got a couple different names. There were actually many different names. The only two I could find at first were Wazzlebug and Jobberwock, to name a couple.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like Wazzlebug.
It doesn't really sound scary, so maybe that's why they changed it.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit of a Jersey devil.
I feel like that one really needed some workshopping.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that, they were like, we need to name this thing.
Yeah, like I don't know
called
where
the Wazzlebug.
Wazzlebug came from, but anyway.
It was probably somebody's name, Wazzle.
Maybe. Not the Leeds,
Jiminy
though.
McWazzle. And then, I don't know.
That was the trickster in town.
Yep.
So in 1804, some residents of South Jersey at the time had seen tracks of an unknown beast around the Point Leeds area. From then, the creature was dubbed the Point Leeds Devil. The most famous sighting was in 1812 when Joseph Bonaparte, who was the former king of Spain and also Napoleon's older brother, you know, the French military leader and self-crowned emperor that won wars all across Europe in the early 19th century.
Fancy.
Yeah, he recounted that he saw the Jersey Devil while hunting near Bordentown Estate. He had seen tracks on the ground that looked like they could potentially belong to a horse or a donkey, but that the creature was walking on their hind legs. He followed the tracks until they abruptly ended, and almost as if the creature just jumped into the air and took off. As he was staring at the end of these tracks, he started hearing a hissing sound. He immediately turned around and came face to face with a beast he had never seen before with a, quote, long neck, wings, legs like a crane with horse's hooves at the end, stumpy arms with paws, and a face like a horse or a camel, end quote. That was Joseph's quote. Joseph froze, and they just stared at each other for a moment before it hissed once more and flew away. Joseph would spend his days in the woods hunting, always looking for this creature so he could kill it and take the body as a trophy. In 1899, a businessman named George Sorosi was sound asleep one night when he was abruptly woken up by loud, high-pitched screams coming from outside his window. He quickly got up and ran to the window, and when he looked out, he saw the Jersey Devil fly past his house. In January 1909, there were almost 1,000 eyewitness accounts in the South Jersey area. One such account was by U.S. Commodore Navy Commander Stephen Decatur. He had been stationed at the Hanover Mills Works in the Pine Barrens. He was out testing cannonballs at the time, as one does, and apparently saw the Jersey Devil. He shot at it with a cannonball. He hit it, and apparently put a hole right through it. But
What?
that did not stop it. It didn't even phase it.
Okay, did he have the cannonball for proof? Because it should be filled with blood and guts and fur and cryptid DNA, which we can now test. Now that we have DNA technology.
Right?
So bring me the cannonball.
Yeah. From 1909. There should be a cannonball out there somewhere with evidence on it. We task you, friends in the dark, with finding this cannonball.
We have a lot of New Jersey listeners, actually.
Do we actually? I haven't checked the
we
stats in a while. Hello,
Yeah, we
New
have a lot of New
Jersey.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know why or how. And
I'm
sorry
not sure either. Yeah, no. We love
if we say something wrong about New Jersey.
We love you guys. Thank you
I've never been there.
Listening. I've never been there either. I'd love to go there someday, especially now.
I had some clients that lived there. And they're nice. I like them.
Yeah. It'd be nice to go there. It'd be nice to go down and do a tour of the New York, New Jersey regions. I hear they're at war with each other.
Are they?
I don't know. No, not at war, but like, I guess
don't spread rumors.
Literally, my
listeners.
only reference is from watching How I Met Your Mother. And people who live in New York do not enjoy people who live in New Jersey.
Really?
It could be a thing. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm just a nice
rumors.
Canadian. I don't know anything about this.
No, me either. We love all people equally. All areas equally.
And cryptids.
Yes, exactly. So on Saturday, January 16th, 1909, in the town of Woodbury, New Jersey, Zach Cousins reported seeing the Jersey Devil on a roadside. Zach's encounter was included in a book called The Jersey Devil by James Malloy and Ray Miller. In it, Zach says, quote, "I first heard a hissing sound. Then something white flew across the street. I saw 2 spots of phosphorus, the eyes of the beast. It was as fast as an auto." End quote. In this same year, there were dozens of strange tracks that had been found, but none of the tracking dogs that they had ever wanted to follow the tracks. They would sniff the trail, then their fur would stand up on ends, and then they would run home in fear. Because of all these sightings, the schools in the Pine Barrens districts were all closed. On January 22nd, 1909, Norman Jeffries wrote an article in a Philadelphia newspaper, which is now non-existent, on page 2 with the headline, quote, "Vampire missing. Look out, Jersey." End quote. The subhead noted, quote, "Australian wonder. Cross between a kangaroo, a bat, strangely disappears." End quote. The article went on to recount stories and encounters from locals who had seen the Jersey Devil that year. Apparently, this same day, hunters allegedly captured the beast in Fairmount Park. The story talked about a creature that was a cross between a kangaroo, an Australian water bird, and they ended up calling it Kangawing.
Kangawing?
Yes. Kangawing. On January 24th, 1909, an ad for a dyeing museum called the Dime Museum at 9th and Arch Streets was listed in the paper, showing that the Jersey Devil had been caught after a terrific struggle and would be on display for the world to see. 10 cents admits to all, it says. A story was written shortly after as a follow-up to this event that mentioned that thousands of people had shown up to see the fuming and fretting beast that they held chained up in a cage. Other newspapers in the area did not buy this facade of a show, so they reported something different. That the Leeds Devil had actually electrified its tail on the third rail of a train line in Gloucester, in Gloucester County, and was killed instantly, leaving only a large patch of melted snow in its wake.
It evaporated?
Yes. It electrified itself and caused an explosion, which then evaporated, said Leeds devil, and left a large patch of melted snow.
That's very convenient.
Isn't it?
That
Yes.
every trace of it
right
has vanished.
Exactly.
New Jersey, what are you hiding?
Yeah, exactly. There are many cool t-shirts that I've seen online for the New Jersey Devil. I feel like Nikki would like one of those. So if you are in the area and you have a New Jersey Jersey Devil shirt that you would like to send to Nikki, please hit us up on our email.
Yeah, in exchange, I'll post a picture of me wearing it. I'll also pull a tarot card for you.
Yeah. Don't you want that? I feel like that's a great gift that you guys could have for your new year. Start your new year off.
My tarot deck
right.
is really good. Actually, I'd let you choose. I have 2 tarot decks, and one is Star Wars and one is Lion Strider, and both are equally as cool.
I can vouch for that, because every time you've pulled tarot cards for me, even though that's not something I should do, you do it anyway. And it's always...
Hey, I didn't force you.
No, you didn't. It was totally my choice. And it turned out you were not wrong.
It was very accurate.
You were very accurate, actually.
Yeah. Hey, it's not me. It's the
scarily
cards.
accurate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
So-
I pulled a spread for Yule. I did my Yule spread.
Yeah.
My winter
How did
solstice
that go?
spread. It was really good. It was so accurate that it made me cry.
Really? Oh, no. I hope a good cry.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah.
I've been having a month.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, it kind of is eerie, honestly, how correct and accurate those can be sometimes. So this creature, many years later, after all of this hoopla with the museum, Norman Jeffries would confess that the creature that was caught and on display at the museum was all a ruse, and they staged the whole thing.
Shocked Pikachu face.
Right. .jpg. The creature they held captive was really a kangaroo with a disguise that included wings to make it look like the Jersey Devil.
Oh my god, they put a costume on a kangaroo?
Can you actually even imagine that?
Yeah, I'm picturing it, and it's very cruel.
It is cruel. I agree.
How did they get a kangaroo up there?
There was one of the partners of the person who owned the museum had access to Australian import animals, I guess. So yeah, it was
must be nice to have that kind of
sketchy.
pull where I can be like, yeah,
right?
ship me a kangaroo.
In 1909 of all the
Yeah.
times, really. People were pulling scams as long as we can remember, and then some. So after 1909, the encounters would grow fewer and fewer to the point where there were almost none until 1927. That year, a taxi driver in Salem City said that they encountered the Jersey Devil. There isn't much known about this story other than that the man told the police later that he was changing a tire on his cab. And then a winged creature started pounding on the roof of his vehicle. We don't know what happened after that, though. Sadly, that's
Is
all
he alive?
Yeah, he's alive. What I suspect happened, because that's all the story that we got. So what I suspect happened is he changed a tire, got in his vehicle, and then the pounding started happening, and then he drove away. That's my take on it anyway, but I'm just making that up, so could be anything. Fast forward to the year 1960, and then even more sightings arose of the Jersey Devil, this time in Mays Landing. These are all New Jersey areas, by the way, if you're unfamiliar. Many people living...
am.
You are?
I am unfamiliar.
Oh, unfamiliar. I don't know why I thought I said familiar. This is what happens when I drink and speak at the same time. Many people living in the area heard bone-chilling, blood-curdling screams in the night. Because of the amount of people that heard it, and there was no explanation for it, the people in the area started to panic. Police had to hang up flyers in the town to advise the people who lived there that the Jersey Devil was not real. However, not long after this, a circus owner decided to put up his own flyers asking for people to capture the Jersey Devil, and they would offer a $100,000 reward for doing so.
Whoa, is that still good today? I'll go home.
I don't know if the circus owner is still around, honestly, from 1960.
I got this student loan I need to take care of.
Yeah, that's right. And a house you just bought.
That's fine. I just have resentment for the student loan.
Yeah, that's fair. Unsurprisingly, no one ever did claim the reward. 12 years later, in 1972, Mary Ritzer Christensen was driving down Green Tree Road after she left the town of Blackwood and was heading towards Glassboro. This road is an extremely long one and it runs through multiple towns. She said that she looked in her rearview mirror and she saw something that sent chills down her spine. Excuse me. A creature was crossing the road and it was only 25 feet from the back end of her car.
Was it using the crosswalk?
I suspect not.
So it's a jaywalker.
It is
Add
a
that to the list.
That
Jersey
is the
Devil
thing
traits.
we can take from this story is that this thing jaywalks. What an asshole.
Right? We don't do that here in Canada.
We do
You
not.
use the crosswalk and you press the little blinky light
Yes.
so the drivers know to stop.
100%.
Although I do not use one of those little flags they stick in there.
I have
because
used
I feel
the
like
flags.
a wiener if I did.
I have used... What? Did you say wiener?
I mean, yeah, the flags are pretty cool, huh?
I have used the flags, but I was also with children at the time, and I felt like it was an important lesson.
Oh, yes. If I was taxiing children across the crosswalk, then I might pull the flag.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there are way too many pedestrian vehicle accidents in this province that I feel like it's a little necessary. I don't know.
Surprisingly, there is a lot.
I'd rather look like a wiener than get hit by a car.
That's
your
put that
lesson for
bumper
the
sticker
day.
on your car.
Yeah, exactly. Cars are not the friend, though. Although I drive a vehicle and rarely ever walk, honestly. Okay, back to the story. So, 25 feet from the back end of her car, she said that it had a head like a horse and woolly haunches like a goat's. But that it was standing upright and it had wings like a giant bat. Green Tree Road isn't near Pine Barrows or even runs through it, but the area is extremely wooded. And since the creature is said to have wings, it can likely fly anywhere it wants to within South Jersey. And then some, I'm sure. Now, Nikki, when you think of animals and the forest, you may also be wondering, but wouldn't the forest rangers be experts in this area and know if the Jersey Devil existed or not?
No, you need a cryptid zoologist.
Okay, I need to know more about those. I actually didn't research into those. I know about them now, but I didn't read into their existence. Do they actually go to school for that?
I'm not sure what their schooling is, but I listen to a podcast sometimes and they do, it is called, you know what? I don't even remember if it's this podcast. A podcast I listen to, they do like spooky stuff and cryptids and folklore, and the husband of one of the pod hosts is a cryptid zoologist.
Oh, that's cool. I would
so
like to
they've had
know
him
how
on to talk about cryptids.
I would like to know how you got that designation. That would be an interesting education to get.
Yeah.
Learning all about cryptids. Ooh, it's so exciting. Okay, well, since you don't wonder that, I'm going to tell you anyway. Well, it just so happens.
Yes, I was wondering.
Okay, good. It just so happens that in 1980, Wharton State Forest Chief Ranger Alan McFarland was called out to a farm in South Jersey, and he saw something that would make him question everything he knew about wild animal knowledge. He came across a grotesque scene on the farm. Trigger warning for animals that were killed in a gruesome manner. Alan saw that the entire pack of the farmer's pigs had been brutally killed. something had eaten the backs of their heads and their brains, and their bodies were so badly scratched and torn.
Oh no.
On top of this, there were no tracks around the bodies of these pigs, almost as if something had flown down from above, tore at their bodies, and ate the backs of their heads, and then flew away to the next unsuspecting pig.
Those poor piggies. Yeah.
There was also no blood on the ground at all. Like something had just sucked it all up, which is really gross to think about. I'm
they
sorry.
Must have one of those milkshake straws with them.
That's really gross. Okay, I have to explain something. And nobody's ever commented about this, but when stuff like this happens or something really grotesque happens, I laugh a lot. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that I am laughing because of the ridiculousness of it and the horrificness of it, not because I think it's funny. I don't actually think it's funny. The only way I deal with things is through humor and through laughter. And it is literally my life coping mechanism. So I do apologize. I'm not trying to offend anybody, especially anybody who might be offended by animals being murdered in this way or humans being murdered in any way that I might laugh at, and I apologize. But I just feel
my
like
motto
I have
is
to
if I don't
that.
laugh, I'll probably cry.
Right,
so.
same, 100%. There is a very, very strong chance that I am actually on the verge of tears, so I laugh instead. And that is just my coping mechanism, and I just want everybody to know that now, so that later on, if something really, truly horrific does happen and I am laughing, it's not laughing at the situation, it's laughing because I don't want to cry and, express things in that way. It's just who I am. I apologize. So, Ranger Allen had never seen anything like this before. The sight was horrific, and the mystery to this day has never been solved. In 1988, an Asbury Park Press reporter reported that a resident of Howell Township had seen the Jersey Devil 7 years prior, so in 1981, and described the Jersey Devil so precisely and accurately, it couldn't have been in anything else. Also in the late 80s, there was a group of young men that went camping, and they wanted to go riding their dirt bikes in the Pine Barrens. Only 100 yards from the campsite, all of their bikes stopped working. They all stalled at the exact same time. No one really knows why. It could have been the terrain of where they were at, or it could have been the nuclear plant that was nearby, apparently. All that we know for sure that what happened next, these men heard a piercing, inhuman screaming coming from within the woods nearby. They all dropped their bikes immediately and then ran back to the camp. And those people who hadn't gone biking but stayed behind instead said they also heard the screams. They didn't stay. Later that night, one of the men went to a bar that wasn't far from where they were and told the story to the bartender about what he heard. And the bartender was like, yeah, you likely had an encounter with the Jersey Devil. That is something that we hear all the time out here. And I'm like, that's great. Fun. Super. So, Pine Barrens, inhuman screaming. Apparently that's a thing. So if you go there, beware. Forest Ranger John Irving was driving in 1993 near the Malika River, and he saw at least a 6-foot-tall creature blocking the road in front of him. It had horns and black matted fur. John stopped. They stared at each other for a few minutes before the creature darted back into the forest. The owner of Smithville Inn, Fran Coppola, which is located in Galloway Township, said that while she was taking out the trash one evening, she saw a shadow on the wall in front of her. The shadow that she saw was a winged beast, and it loomed over her. She felt a calming feeling over her, like it was watching over the inn and keeping it safe.
So she found the nice Jersey Devil.
Apparently she found the nice Jersey Devil, yes. But I don't think she stuck around to see if that's what it was. 3 cars were traveling on Route 9 in Bayville in the same direction when they all had to slam on their brakes. Sonny Zed recounted that around 10 p.m. at night, when a 10-foot tall Jersey Devil-looking beast ran across the road in front of them, causing them all to slam on their brakes to avoid hitting the beast and each other. Sonny described the beast as being hairless with strange short ears and hooved feet. He recognized it immediately as it looked like every depiction of the Jersey Devil he had ever seen. And only a few days after David Black's encounter with the Jersey Devil in October 2015, Emily Martin was lucky enough to capture a video encounter with it.
What?
Right? She was in Old Port Republic Road, which was located near Leeds Point. This video you can find on YouTube because we won't be able to post it. And the YouTube video was posted by nj.com, which is actually where I got most of the story from. And the video is called, quote, Jersey Devil Sighting or Elaborate Halloween Prank, question mark, end quote.
Well, I know what I'm going to do for my Halloween decorations next year.
Please have in your projector this video of the Jersey Devil flying in your window.
Step 1, I need to get the damn 12-foot skeleton.
Yes, of course, because that's been on your list since well before Halloween.
Yes.
Have you been looking for Boxing Day sales?
I did do some Boxing Day shopping. However, the skeleton was not one of them.
Damn, you would think.
Yeah, he's not in stock.
That might have been something that was on sale after Halloween, like right after Halloween. Maybe.
But they don't have any is the problem.
Oh, the stock is low.
I was willing to pay full price.
Oh, okay.
The price is not a factor.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's no price I could put on a 12-foot skeleton.
Yeah, that's fair.
In my eyes.
Yeah.
Other things I purchased, I'm like, no, it's $5 too many. But the 12-foot skeleton, no.
Absolutely no prices too much.
Hey, I work hard for my adult money.
That's right.
I'll make whatever damn purchases I want after the bills are paid.
Listen, if any of our friends in the dark have a skeleton, a 12-foot skeleton that you'd like to sell to Nikki, please reach out. There was a documentary that was created about the Jersey Devil in Smithville from the 1990s. It's a super interesting film and you should watch it. It's very, very top quality for the 90s. That was a joke. Anyway, it included a man whose name was Harry Leeds, and he believes that he is a direct descendant of Mother Leeds.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So he's got the Jersey Devil blood in him.
Yes. He said, quote, I see this heaviest creature looking at me. It was hard to identify at nighttime, but the most distinguishing factor of that encounter was the piercing red eyes. End quote. Apparently in Maryland, there is a creature in folklore that they have had encounters with that is called the Snallygaster. I'm sorry, that name is just ridiculous. The Snallygaster is described as being dragon-like, half bird and half reptile, and is so large it could pick up humans and suck out their blood. Theodore Roosevelt also wanted to have a run-in with the Snallygaster. In 1885, he apparently almost canceled an African safari trip just so he could stay behind and go hunting for the Snallygaster. He never did find the beast, of course. 2 weeks before the Snallygaster sighting, there had been many reports of the Jersey Devil seen in New Jersey, that it's also almost a wonder if the same creature was flying back and forth between Maryland and New Jersey to terrorize the residents of each state, or if the stories just spread that far and wide to scare everyone who dared to listen. Only a few months ago, in October of 2021...
What?
Yeah. Michael Robinson and Stefan Coulter told their story of running into the Jersey Devil. It was 4 years ago on Leeds Point Road, but they only came forward this year. They had seen something strange in the field beside the road. They saw something that looked like a little brown horse. It was moving, but it never advanced anywhere. They said it almost looked ghost-like it was solid enough that you could see the coloring of it, but it looked like a mirage. You know how like when the heat is too high and you see like the wavy lines in the air? They said it looked like a mirage. In the 1980s, during the Jersey Devils' rise in fame again, the New Jersey Devils had gained their moniker in 1982. The name was selected through a fan contest, and as you may have guessed it, it originates from the legends of the Jersey Devil. Again, the encounters rose in fame again in the 90s, and strangely enough, in 1993, Jersey Devil was made an episode of The X-Files. Jim Albertson is a local folklorist, and he says that the Jersey Devil is rather small, only 3 feet in height. And rather than being red like the devil, it's covered in black fur. He said that it's a prankster, like a trickster. He knocks over outhouses and tool sheds, and he likes to scare chickens and cows and obviously humans if they happen upon them. The Jersey Devil had been sighted in at least 50 different towns throughout New Jersey and maybe Maryland. However, journalistic standards in those days were apparently pretty loose. Apparently, journalists would often write in favors for people in exchange for free meals, theater tickets, booze, whatever they felt like they wanted at the time, I guess.
That's not on the up and up.
Nope, it was not. So hard to say about how true those stories are from the news. Angus Gillespie is a professor of American Studies at Rutgers University who happens to be a leading New Jersey folklorist. And he has been doing a lot of research into the origin stories on his own, as well as the encounters that people have to tell him about the famous Jersey Devil. As for the origin story about Mother Leeds, he says that back in the 1700s in the area that was first settled by Europeans, it was overrun by lawless folk. People who break the law, basically. People who were importing illegal and evading customs and taxes wanted to bring their goods free of all the levies. When the officers came through the Pine Barrens to do their investigations, they would go in, but never come out. So apparently, they were just being killed, and so the locals would say that their deaths were caused by the Jersey Devil. In 1909, when all of those sightings were reported and journalists came from all over to report on the story, most reporters mocked the people living there, that they were, quote unquote, backwards bumpkins. The damage that was done then still lives on today, where many families living in the area that truly believe these stories are afraid that those visiting will just make a mockery of them and their beliefs. Angus believes that tourists are turning this legend into a popular culture item and that they're missing the terrifying and frightening nature of the original story. Now it's turning into a joke and kind of a cartoon. He worries that it is being trivialized, commercialized, and popularized. He said, quote, "In my opinion, it's not a joke. It's not a comic strip. It's a real terrifying creature, and we're in danger of losing that point of view." End quote. Brian Regal, who is a professor of history at Keene University, also had a look into the origins of the Jersey Devil story. He found that it goes back to the original Leeds family member, Daniel Leeds. He was a Quaker. It was said that he was involved with the government and also started writing an almanac in 1867 using astrology. I say that with Like that was the most evil thing you could do at the time. Astrology, no, it's bad. At the time, this was hugely frowned upon. The other Quakers around him didn't appreciate his pagan ideas about astrology, angels, and magic, or his allegiance to the royal governor of the colony and the British in general. Quakers at that time considered astrology to be ungodly and called Daniel Satan's harbinger. Brian said that it started off as a political thing more so than a witchcraft thing. Once Daniel was ready to retire in 1716, he passed on the almanac to his son Titan. In 1728, Titan took the family crest and put it on the almanac. The crest, you ask? 3 dragon-like creatures with clawed feet and bat-like wings. Creatures that looked an awful lot like the Jersey Devil. Titan had a rival over the years, and his name was Franklin. Franklin ridiculed Titan and apparently jokingly predicted his death. When Titan did die, Franklin told stories about how he was some kind of devilish ghost. These stories all got lost with time, and so by 1859, the new story of how the Jersey Devil came to be seems to be a mixture of all the tales told by and about the Leeds family. I wanted to end this story with a quote from pinelandsalliance.org that says, "Belief in the Jersey Devil is quite real and based on records of concrete occurrences. Reliable people, including police, government officials, businessmen, and many others whose sole integrity is beyond question, have witnessed the devil's activities. To this day, people traveling down the Garden State Parkway or the Atlantic City Expressway reported sightings of something or tell stories of strange occurrences. Many continue to believe that the legendary being is still around, disturbing the region, and will continue to do so for generations to come." The end.
I want to see the Jersey Devil.
I do
need
too.
to see it.
I know, same. After I read this story, I was like, ooh, this sounds so cool. I definitely want to go down there now just to do if they have like stereotypical Jersey Devil tours and things like that. I want to do it all.
I bet they have a museum or something, maybe.
I suspect so, yeah. I kind of also want to just go right into the Pine Barrens. Let's just go in there and go camping and see if we can spend a night in there and hear the blood-curdling screams or whatever. It doesn't seem to
That sounds like so much fun. That's absolutely what I want my first vacation to be after the pandemic ends in 100 years.
I didn't say your first vacation. I mean, go down south first, right? And then after that.
No, I'm going Disney World is where I'm going first.
That's true. And then you need to go to Edinburgh.
And Greece. Those are the only places I want to go.
Okay. And then we're going to go to the Pine Barrens.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, we're going to go camping.
Yeah, we'll do that because we all know how much Nikki loves to go camping.
Yeah. I'll stay at a hotel.
Yeah, that's right.
You can camp.
Sure.
You let me know. You record the sounds when
We'll
you hear
do
them.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll play them on the podcast. Yeah, it's totally going to happen. How cool is that story, though? Like, I don't know. It's hard for me to believe things that I can't see, but at the same time, there's so many stories that it's hard not to believe it. You know what I mean?
I believe most things, so.
And it's so interesting because, like, if you've ever read the story about the missing 411, have you ever read any of the stories?
You've told me about that.
We will definitely do stories on the missing 411 in the future because I am obsessed with those stories. And stories about, like, say, the Yeti and things like that, where it's like these people experience these things that are completely unreal. Like, it's something that is impossible, that the things that they've experienced, like a child going missing in one area and showing up 25 kilometers a day later in another area completely unharmed. Like, and not having any recollection of what happened. Like there's things that are just so impossible that have happened that it just makes me believe that anything is possible. And if they don't want us to know about them, we're not going to know about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, who are we to say that it's not real? We're not. We don't know enough.
Hey, I didn't say it wasn't real.
I know you didn't. I just mean people who are skeptics, of course, because they're, and I know I'm a skeptic when it comes to a lot of things because I'm very science driven. I'm very logical, very, rational. But when it comes to like, who am I to say as a person who is logical and rational that there are things out there that we just can't see or feel or hear or whatever the case may be? Just because we can't see them doesn't mean they aren't real. So anyway, I'm going to leave it on that note. Let us know what you think. Nikki, it is your turn to roll.
I got my die.
Perfect.
Where are my themes at? Ooh. I got everyone lies on the internet.
Wait, do you mean the story that I just told you that I researched on the internet was probably not real?
No, that wasn't a lie.
Oh, okay. That one's real. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
That one was real.
Cool. What did you roll, by the way?
A 15.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Holla.
I'm impressed.
It's because we haven't been playing D&D, so there's no bad juju on my dice.
So true. Also, not cool that we haven't been playing D&D.
We're in lockdown. Our D&D party would be too many people.
I know.
Well, depending on
so
whose
true.
house we went to, because people have other occupants.
Fair. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I think last time we were in lockdown, we came here, my place.
Yeah.
But now I'm in isolation. Super fun times in Nova Scotia.
There'll be no visiting you.
No, nobody's visiting me. I'm in self-isolation for 2 weeks. So super fun times. All good in the hood. We'll update you next week and you'll know if I have any symptoms or not. We'll see. We shall see.
I mean, it'll be, by the time this comes out, you'll either have it or won't have it.
That's true. That's true. But we'll update you in episodes. So you'll know like a week after I record this. And then that way, hopefully it'll be almost over for me. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully nothing happens though. Being exposed to COVID is scary, but also just hope and pray that there are no symptoms and that all is well in the world. Okay, let's just get through this.
Okay, you're the one that brought up the Rona.
I know. This is what happens when I drink. I don't mind talking about it, but at the same time, it's a little scary. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Megan, before we recorded, she was like, don't bring up COVID.
Don't bring it up.
And I was like, okay.
Okay, but I literally just found out. Nikki and I, when we record, we always have like a good half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour sometimes of catching up to do because we don't ever chat unless we're talking on our podcast. And after we started catching up.
We hate each other, but it's just because of the Rona.
No, exactly. No. We hung out all the time before Rona hit. But when we were chatting, I got a text from the person staying with me, and they advised that their significant other was exposed to COVID. So here we are. They've been here, and they were here today, and the exposure happened yesterday. So now I get to wait for 2 weeks in isolation by myself and see if things happen. This is how I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to deal with it through laughter.
By telling a lot of people, okay,
yeah,
got it.
You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm exposing myself, but at the same time, I'm drinking, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And the more people that know, the more people that can send their positive vibes and hope and pray I don't get COVID, or if I do, it's very, very mild, like all the other people who have been getting it that were double vaxxed. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
That's your dream?
That's the dream, baby. If that's the dream we have to live with these days. This pandemic can just stop any day now and I'll be super happy.
Well, if you'd like to follow us on social media to find out if Megan has COVID and to see a picture of the Jersey Devil, you can find us by searching the Grimdark Diaries or Grimdark Diaries.
I want them to send us their pictures of... the Jersey
Yes, but you're
Devil.
going to post some. You said you had some.
Oh, yeah, I have pictures. No, yes. Sorry.
Yeah,
You will
okay.
see the pictures.
Megan, drink your vodka.
I'm so sorry.
Slap that vodka back.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
If you would like to send us those pictures that Megan requested or to let me know the tracking information for my Jersey Devil t-shirt that you're sending me, you can email us at thegrimdarkdiaries at, no, there's no at the beginning, thegrimdarkdiaries at gmail.com. If you have Apple Podcasts and an iPhone, you should give us a 5-star rating and a comment, and it would be much appreciated. And if you do that, I will pull you a tarot card. And you can also follow us on other podcast things because they do stuff too. And tune in next week to see what I come up with for everyone's lies on the internet. But not us, not Grimdark.
Never.
We're
would
nothing
never
but
do that.
truths here.
No, we absolutely would never do that to you.
Never. And remember, a friend in the dark beats alone in the light.